Good morning. How are you? Divine Rising. How are you, my love? It's a beautiful Thursday. I'm just doing some smudging. Whoop-de-doo. Ran all the way around. I have to remember I brought a new plant in. How's your day going? How's your day? Good morning, good morning. Ooh, sweet. It's a beautiful card for today. Hi, Tally. How are you? Whoa, cards are popping today, that's for sure. Uh, no, that's okay. That's okay. If you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it, and that's okay. Right? We're not always going to be feeling like giving out the same amount of energy, right? We're not always going to feel that way. Good morning. And it's beautiful that you're acknowledging that. Hello from Poland. How are you? How are you? I'm just pulling out some cards here. What was the other one? What was the other card? Hi, Lindsay. How are you, love? Today is Transformation Thursday, so we tend to do things that are energetic in mind, or I use cards that I have that have more energy properties with them. Hi, Edie. How are you, love? So we're going to look at some of the more powerful cards that I have. We're going to do a check-in on the energy, and then we'll see where we go from there. Hi, Mindful Moment. I like mindful moments. They're beautiful. We'll do a little bit of an energy check-in, like I said, with the cards, but also with other things. You're challenged? No, you're not. No. No, it's your things. What are you challenged with? Let's see if we can rearrange that and we can move it, move it. I like that. That's so cute. Thank you, Edie. Hi, Mandy. I am very well. Very well. I think today is a nap day for sure, though, and I do enjoy a nap, and I am looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. Okay, so I had a bunch of cards in front of me, and we're going to be checking in on what's going on. Oh, these are some powerful cards right off the hop. All right. Right. Oh, I just threw all my cards. This is all I'm holding from a tarot deck, is this little stack. The rest of them are across. Oh, luckily enough. It didn't get too bad. Remember when we used to get that card? We used to play with the one deck of cards. I think it was probably the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. I think that's the one that says time for a nap card. Hi, Wonder Woman. How are you, love? So yeah, we're gonna do an energy check-in. We'll play with some of the more powerful cards that I have, the ones that have, you know, energies put in them. Tuesdays and Thursdays, and if you want an extra day, you can see me on YouTube on Mondays as well. Oh, yeah. Well, I know what that's like. I've been there. Living in. So I'm streaming on both YouTube and TikTok. So I will be going back and forth with some of the conversation. for those of you that are on here, which I think most of you already do, follow Truth Wave for daily meditations at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern. You can check your local time zone to see how that translates. But it's a powerful meditation technique, so you can come and join us there. He is also on TikTok, X, and Facebook, and Rumble. Don't think I missed anything. Oh, this is beautiful. What else do we have? So I'm just checking in a couple of the decks that I've already pulled from. I've pulled from the Masters of Light Oracle. Ooh, good energy with those cards. I'm checking in. I checked in with the 7 energies. I've got the shamans. I checked in with the shaman. I'm going to check in with the Gateway of Light, Pura Vida. Our love is everywhere. Exactly. Ooh. Oh my goodness, that's amazing of those coming out together. It's fantastic. Yes, we support each other, right? If anybody's doing anything within their lives and they need that support, know that you're not alone, because there's lots of us out there that are very supportive of each other. And while there may not be a way that, you know, say somebody's struggling with financial, there may not be something that maybe I can't, you know, just help financially like that. But maybe there's another way that I can help. And, you know, I can either help by being emotionally supportive, or I can help by doing something like helping by giving ideas or suggestions, that individual could implement that might help them, either with their nervous system, their trauma response, or an idea with how to move something in the right direction. Because I work in business as well. I have my own, I have a business. I have a school that I run, actually. And I've been a manager for many years. I worked as a director of nursing and senior management in a hospital. And, you know, in the 3.5 years that I've been operating my company, I've learned a lot along the way that is transferable information for people. And you guys are all like that. You have so many things that you know, and so many different facets of you that come together to make you, right? A conversation with Tanya can change life, right? I agree, Edie. I agree. I think it's time I toot my own horn a little bit and know that, you know, I am a powerful change agent and I can help you in a lot of different ways. So with the, yeah, Lindsay, set up a phone call with me. That'd be the easiest way, because then I can actually talk one-to-one with you and give you some suggestions and stuff on that call. And the call's free. It's on my website. So just grab that call and I'll talk, and I'll give you some tips and stuff, some things to help you with your nervous system to regulate it a little bit more. Which will be helpful all the way around. And 2, I can give you maybe some ideas with things that you might be able to do. Yeah, for sure, Lindsay. Okay, so we're going to start out with this particular card, and this particular card comes from the Masters of Light. And when we're looking at this card, the one thing that we want to do is we want to invoke the Master of Light that's being for today, the Master of Light that we have for today. And today is Oshun. So Oshun is saying, and this is just beautiful and poignant at this time, because we already had somebody come in and say something about love. Our love is everywhere. Hi, Dawn, I'm fantastic. And Oshun's affirmation that we have to we have to say 3 times this affirmation to invoke the power of Oshun in our lives today. And the affirmation that she's giving us today is, I love myself. Okay, so we're going to say it 3 times. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. Okay, so let's see what our beautiful Oshun has as a message for us. And I do like to resort to the book for this, because the message can be big that's coming from it. Hi, Alan. How are you, love? They're beautiful. It's a game that you can play with your friends, right? It's a beautiful thing that we can do. It's called the Masters of Light Group Oracle. So you can play it as a game with people, which is just beautiful. Okay. All right. Oshun, humility. Without the waters, we are nothing. Without the earth, we are no longer here. Oshun, the great water carrier and goddess of West Africa, has brought this card to remind us of all of the importance of humility. We live in a time where the earth is being ravaged as a result of human thinking they are more powerful than nature. This has resulted in great imbalances and harsh changes to our earth. Oshun teaches that it is only when we become humble are we allowed to listen to the highest powers of source creation. This card comes as a reminder to drop all striving for knowledge and simply be in reverence with the earth. Make it your practice over the next week to be still and watch the clouds moving, feel the wind on your face, and hear the sounds of the rivers flowing. These elements will serve as a bridge of transmissions for the spirit of Oshun to enter you. How beautiful is that, right? So this beautiful energy for us, this remembering of being a steward of the earth. It's so important for us to be that steward of the earth, right? She can survive without us, but we will not survive without her, right? So it's important to think about that. And you can do things in a very small way. If you're out for a walk and you see garbage, pick it up. Grab some bird feed, put it in your pocket. When you're out for a walk, spread it around. Talk to the trees. Go talk to the trees. Go walk in the woods and commune with nature, right? Listen to the wind, move through the trees' leaves and listen to the shh. And hear what that's saying to you because it's communicating, right? I've heard the wind go through the leaves and heard the trees call me to come closer. And I did. Very, very beautiful. So looking on the bottom of the deck is Ixchel, and this is, the affirmation on this is, I am a warrior of consciousness. TT. So be a warrior of consciousness. When we're looking at the, and sorry guys, my mom's baking. That's why I was a few minutes late, because I had to stir. I had to be the stirrer. I don't know if you've ever lived with a parent. I mean, sure you have as a child. I remember I was the brake pumper when we were changing brakes. I had to bleed the brakes and pump the brakes. You know, you get all those tasks. You got to stir the pot. If you go back far enough, you got to hold the rabbit ears. So I had to be a steward. I am a warrior of consciousness. So our consciousness is who we are. It is the very life force of us. And our consciousness is our awareness. And, you know, I've talked about the double slit experiment, and I've talked about superposition, and talked about Schrodinger's cat, and all of those things, and how they coalesce into the same kind of thought, which is that when you apply, or your expectation of what you're going to see is what you end up seeing in your reality. When there is no expectation of the outcome ends up happening in all the ways that it can simultaneously, because time is an illusion and everything's happening in the perpetual now, which is a very powerful thing to have understanding of. Most of us are walking around and we're what we like to call asleep. And that's because we're just not aware of our power, of our own consciousness, right? When we become too ingrained in matter, like the third dimension is a very physical dimension. So when we get too attached to matter and we're really focused on, I have to see it, I have to taste it, I have to touch it, I have to hear it, or I have to smell it. And if I can't test it and detect it with some other machine to verify what I'm experiencing, then it's not real. So we're losing a whole bunch of what we are and who we are and what we're capable of, because we are tying and tethering ourselves so much into being matter. We're tying ourselves to that 3D. The other thing that keeps us weighted down from being able to access that higher consciousness is the fact that we're actually weighted down with the darkness. So we're down with the sickness, down with the darkness. We're down with it because we still hold our stories so much in front of us, the stories of old. We talk about the things that bother us over and over and over and over and over again, repeating those words out into the ether and saying, this is my reality. And the ether says, you shall have more of that You will have more of that. Whatever you speak into existence, we will create over time. I talk about being like that bobber in the ocean, right? If you're a bobber sitting in water, when you think about water as being that quantum field that we're sitting in, bobbing in that water, that's your energy. And as you're sitting there and you're thinking negative thoughts, the ripples that go out from you are negative. When you add the negative feeling to the thought, you make the ripples even bigger and more multiple. You send that ripple out even more of negative, negative, negative. And then if you add action to that, or you speak the words, you're just further adding to it. And one of the things that I like to teach my students, this is more grade 2 topics, but what I like to teach my students, I just lost my train of thought. I caught my eyes on my mom and I just zoned right out at what's my mom doing. When we are the spelling, it's just adding to it. It's adding more and more and more to it. And you can be conscious or unconscious in the waves that you're creating, right? Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids. But squirrels is more like it. Those squirrels run amok. One of my squirrels, I swear, is out there chasing his own tail. It's like this. Anyway, you can be consciously aware of what you're doing or unconsciously aware. And many of us are unconsciously aware of those ripples that we're putting in there. That the stories that we're speaking is sending out more of those ripples. That's what I teach my students. I teach my students that that your consciousness knows nothing but self. You know nothing but self. So every word that you speak, your self interprets it as self. And it really goes into spirituality as well when we think about we are all in one and one in all. So the concept of what I do to me, I do to all is true. So everything I speak to all, I'm speaking to me. And my brain knows no difference. So when I was going to say bitching, but true. When I'm bitching or criticizing or running people down or judging or comparing or being in that negative energy, speaking about other people, my spirit hears it as to self. So it's even more important to be conscious about what are you thinking? What energy, feelings are you sitting in? What is the actions that you're taking? Like, what are you taking action on? Are you thinking about fear and feeling fear and then taking action from a fear-based space? Because you're just going to be generating more things of fear in our life. Look at, right? Do you see the little orb? Right? So we have to be aware of that. Back up we go. Anyway, you have to recognize that you be a conscious participant in what is going on, and be aware that what you're doing to you, you're doing to everyone, and and that goes both ways, whether in a negative way or in a positive way. The positive ripple effect has a way bigger reach though. Because when I raise my vibration, people around me can't help but have their vibration raised as well. And one enlightened soul generates the same amount of energy as a city of 15,000 people. That's how much your enlightenment energizes the earth. We transmute so much shadow through that, but that in order for us to raise into that higher level of consciousness, we have to transmute the shadow that weighs us down and just become aware. And a lot of us aren't. We're just asleep. A lot of us, we are maybe a little more aware, but we're not actually taking action. And we see that a lot in the communities, in healing and in doing stuff like that. I see it a lot in the early stages of victimhood, that people would rather spend time stuck within that space of woe is me and life is happening to me and I don't have any control. And that's the way that the matrix is designed, is to take away your power, to take away your control, to take away your genius, to take away your connection to yourself, your connection to higher consciousness, your connection to other people. So it's just this further restriction of those things, or the separation of those things. The awakening is the return back to everybody, the return back to singular consciousness, the back to unity. right? So one of the things is to let go of the stories of the past, allow yourself to process through the energy that you're experiencing with that, and then move beyond that into that conscious space of what am I thinking and why, and is it helping me? What am I feeling? And is it an enhancement for me? Is it a positive thing? And this isn't toxic positivity, because I tell my students as well, make sure that you are acknowledging your feelings and make sure that you are observing what's going on around you. You're not being blind to it. So you can observe what it is, but choose not to stay in the energy of that, because staying in a negative energy doesn't harm anyone but you. It harms your body, it harms your life in so many ways, right? If I'm feeling in very fear-based, then I'm not going to make the choices that are positive for me, because I'm going to make very small, closed choices. When I'm in fear-based, my nervous system is in an altered state. Whether you are operating in fight or flight, freeze and disassociate is in another space, or in people-pleasing mode. Those are either sympathetic with fight, flight, or parasympathetic with the other, freeze and fawn. They're in those spaces, and we want to be operating in that rest and digest space where our immune system is actually helping us. So when you're in these altered states, your immune system's not functioning, and on top of that, your inflammation is elevated. So you're in a spot where you're going to be getting sick more, right? And when we look at that and you start to understand how powerful you are, powerful by that, just by taking control of your thoughts and your emotions, you are going to change the entire trajectory of your life. And so it's a powerful thing. I got off on a really good run for that. That was a good card to bring about consciousness. All right, let's see what our other cards are, and then I'll be here until noon, so we can get some energy stuff for everybody. Okay, so we've got the card of feeling the world, and a lot of us are in this space, right? We're very empathic, and we're picking up the energies of people around us. Or if we sink into the collective consciousness, we can feel this big change, like there's a separation. And if you're on my channel, you're probably getting stuff coming on yours about, this separation, the idea of us splitting and going to 5D, and all these other types of ways of expressing it. And in that, we're feeling that within the world. We're feeling the collective grief that's there. We're feeling the energy of Mother Gaia as she's asking us to please change our ways. Please love her, right? And there's this is happening. Now, you can dip in to understand what's going on, to get a feel of what is out there, but don't sit within it. Pull yourself back, and then spend that time putting your energy in a better space. You serve Mother Earth better by being in a really high vibrational space and sending healing energy to her than you ever do sitting in woe is me energy, or woe is us, or the end is nigh, or any of that energy, and sitting in fear and lack, or any of those other energies, and sending that, and poor Mother Earth, like saying that's not helpful. What's helpful is you raising your vibration, being consciously aware, and doing the little things you can to be a steward of the earth, sending compassion out. That's what you can do. That's way, way better. But we think that by worrying for people that we're helping them, but all we're doing is adding to the stream of collective consciousness worry. We're just feeding more worry out there. And if you're going to be sending a wave, go to Truth Wave, and we'll send a wave of peace, joy, love, unity. We'll send beautiful energy from Mother Gaia, Father Sky, and the concepts of unity, right? And unity consciousness. That's a wave that you want to be sending, not worry, not, oh my God, what's going to happen? Oh my God, things are bad. Oh my God, chaos and destruction. Oh my God, the doom and gloom. Oh my God, pour this and pour that, and woe is that, and woe is... That doesn't help anybody. That just feeds the pool of collective consciousness with more negative energy, right? So pull it back. Go, okay, I'm aware of the situation. Now, what's the best thing that I can do? The best thing that I can do is, from the concept of all in one and one in all, I'm going to do what I can to have myself in the best energetic space and raise my vibration, because it will help the all. And I'm going to send out waves of beautiful energy to other people, because it will help the all. And it all helps me when I'm doing these things. We've got the power of purpose, which is a beautiful card as well. Many of us are waking up to our purpose. Our purpose is to experience life, to experience it in all of its glory. To experience it in all of its glory, to live from the expression of love, to experience joy, to see the beauty of life, to experience those other emotions, but not from a space of holding on to them and judging or criticizing them, but to actually just feel them for the experience of the emotion, because we know as we evolve higher and higher and higher and higher and higher in our consciousness, as we ascend in dimensions, that we pull away from those feelings. It's actually why we come down into the 3D, why we actually line up and say, let me in, let me in, let me in. Because we want to know what touch, taste, feel, all of those things are like. We want to have that very sensory experience and the variety of emotions. Because the more that we become enlightened, the less that we're going to feel, those negative, not that any emotions are negative, but the lower vibrational energies. We came to experience that, so we know what it's like. So we know that's not what we want. We don't want those energies. We want to experience things differently. But your power of purpose shows up when you're spending time doing the things that you're naturally good at and that you naturally like. It's in those spaces where what you're meant to do is there. And we get tied up. I think one of the confusing parts about purpose is that many of us think your purpose is to radically change the world. Like, we get caught up thinking that we've got to be the next Messiah, or we've got to be the next billionaire, we've got to be the next massive movie star, and that's our purpose has to be grandiose. Right? Rather than looking at it and saying, our purpose is just to be human and experience this, and do so in a loving and experience life in that joyful way. That's all we're meant to do. We're not meant to do anything for money. Hey Dee, love to you, friend. We're not meant to do anything for money. Right? That's not our purpose. Was never to make money. That's another conditioning within the third dimension. Is this construct that we live in is very monetary. We should not have to pay to have a house over our head. We should not have to pay to have food in our belly, right? We shouldn't have to pay for anything that is necessary for survival. That in and of itself is a crime against humanity, that we should have to struggle for survival, that there could literally be people that would not survive merely because they do not have the money to pay for the things needed to live. That in and of itself is a crime against humanity. And that's what we're moving through. That's what we're moving away from. That's the power of recognizing our power and moving away from that. Yeah, okay. We've got the beautiful, joyful muse coming in, and many of us are finding inspiration in amazing places. There's a lot. I find a lot everywhere. I can't believe the symbolism I'm seeing, or the synchronicities, or the serendipitous things that are happening. Or being in every conversation that I'm in, there are ideas that are being sparked. There's creativity that's being formed. I have never sat with people in circles that I've sat in at this time where there has been as much growth, as much brilliance being brainstormed collectively. The creative energy is just amazing right now. So I hope that you're finding your joyful muse. And your muse is the things that makes you feel joy. So what makes you feel joy? And if you don't know, then you get this beautiful opportunity to find out. Right? You get this beautiful opportunity to be like, hey, I don't know what I like. Okay, so let's try this. Let's try doing some sports. Let's try doing some puzzles. Let's try painting. Let's try, drawing. Let's try singing. Let's try dancing. Let's try whatever you want. There's a smorgasbord of things available. There's millions of different things that you could do, and it's just what you like, what you love. Just go do it. And it doesn't have to be the same thing as me. It doesn't have to be. And in fact, I would like it if you liked other things, so then I could see what other things there are out there, and I can be just blown away by, hey, that's something that you like, and that's what you do with it. That's freaking amazing, right? I want to look at those things with that. The other card that we have coming out is the Dust Devil, which is talking about moving out of stagnation. And we're seeing a lot. I don't know about you guys, but for me, the wheels are like moving faster. There feels like there's this very quickening energy that things are just about to happen. And I know back in early December, I was very slowed down energetically. And it's fine because we are going into winter time. It's natural to slow down. But once I hit just around the end of December, the new moon that came in, and then we sprung into January, it's been nothing but just going since then. It's been just beautiful energy. It's not going in a chaotic sense. It's not a ball that's running away from you down a hill. It's not any of that kind of energy. It's this beautiful, creative, expansive, wonderful energy where you feel you get up every day enthusiastic with your life, and you're enjoying the conversations that you're having with people. You're no longer tolerating the energies of people who pull you down and drag you down. You've said enough of that, the silent walking away of the things that don't serve you, right? Rather than looking at TV or looking at the the news or media, or going down the scrolling time of negative stuff. All of that stuff is just gone. It's just gone. And we're starting to move away from those energies that keep us stuck and moving to a much more positive space. Hi, Anthony. All right, so we've got the rose without thorns, which is just reminding you that you have the right to your joy. Whoever told, whatever there is within you that doesn't think that you deserve to be joyful, I guarantee you is tied to something that happened in childhood where someone made you feel bad when you were happy, where they mocked you for feeling happy, or when they made you feel bad because they were feeling bad, so you weren't able to experience your emotions the way that you were supposed to. So we have this fear of joy. And, for some of us, there's the other aspect of we get these highs and lows. So we'd get that things would be going really, really, really well, and then the rug would get pulled out. So for us, every time we think that things are going well, we have that fear in the bottom of our belly that's like, but when's the rug gonna go? So we never fully relax into joy. And a lot of us have that. But you have a right to your joy. You have a right to peace. You have a right to sweetness. You have a right to embrace the life that you have and to live it in the energies that you want to. So I suggest turn your TV off. I suggest look at your circles and what they're doing. Are they helping you, or are they hindering you? Are they lifting you up, or are they tearing you down? Are they creating beautiful energy in your space, or are they not? And it doesn't matter if it's blood or not. You don't have to have anyone in your life who isn't positively contributing to it. If somebody makes your spirit hurt, why would you have them sit at your table anymore? We've got held as well from the Rose Oracle. And held, this one here is about this is like such a beautiful card, because this really is taking us in a lot of connecting to Mother Earth within the cards that came out. And this one is talking about that sureness of the soil and that there's unseen help there. Mother Earth is helping us. When we see, and I know it's kind of confusing, and I know this because I have friends who channel Mother Gaia, I have friends who channel the trees, I have, I have very spiritual friends who connect in a lot of really, really amazing ways. And there are some elements of the weather that we're dealing with right now that are due to weather modification, right? They've come out and talked about it. They've got videos, they've got patents, they've got all of that. We have to be really, really asleep not to actually look up in our sky and see that they are cloud seeding or they are modifying the weather. So we know that that's happening, and that is creating its own issues with Mother Gaia. And Mother Gaia will rectify the situation. It's that ecosystem. She's going to find balance in one way or another, right? And Mother Gaia will very easily create a storm to cleanse the energy, right? When we look at what happens with thunder and lightning, it's that discharge of negative ions, right? So to discharge that. And the same thing is happening with with that discharge. So the same thing happens collectively. So when there's a lot of negative energy or toxic energy that can be affecting the weather systems, right? Because Mother Gaia is going to be trying to rectify the energies that are in that particular space. So there's a lot of things that are with that, but know that there is support, and there is support from the skies as well, right? There's a lot of drone activity out there. There's a lot of, and I'm just going to say suppose as the entertainment purposes, just for the community concept of not getting my video taken down. This is all just us having fun. We're just having fun here, talking about these topics, about drones and stuff, and aliens and all of that. We're working towards full disclosure, which is supposed to have happened at any point in time, but we're constantly shifting timelines right now because there's so much work going behind the scenes and people working together to shift the trajectory of the earth, to bring and seed the new earth. And we're working hard on that behind the scenes. There's people doing ley line stuff that are holding the grid, grid workers. So there's tons of stuff with that going on. But there is help that's out there. Even when you think about it with us, if we're sitting there and I'm sending out that wave of love towards you, and you're somebody that's not feeling love, and you're like, I just wish that I could feel love, and all of a sudden this wave of love comes to you, there's an unseen helper. That's someone that sent out that wave of love so that you could grab it from the ether and feel it in your body because you were lacking in that space, right? It's a beautiful thing. All right. And I said it was really, really interesting. Yeah, and it's just riding the waves, right? But keeping your eyes, the future that you're on, right? And right now we are seeing that. We're seeing that. It's what you're buying into. If you're buying into the fear, if you're buying into the shadow, if you're buying into the lack, if you're still, thinking in terms of duality, then you're on the one track. If you're thinking in terms of unity, you're operating from your heart chakra instead of from your logic center. If you're operating from the concept of compassion and how can we be humane, if you're being a steward of the earth, if you're, being a steward of humanity, then you're on this path. You get to choose. Everybody gets to choose. So when people that you care about are on the opposite path, you have to realize they had the opportunity to choose this path or that path, and they chose, right? And you make the choice that you want. If you want to stay in that element of fear and lack and duality and contradiction and polarity and fighting and fear and all of that stuff, then keep your consciousness going in that direction, or don't do anything to change it. But if you do want to switch, then start being conscious about what you're doing, conscious of what you're thinking, and start operating from your heart, from a very compassionate space. So we've got 2 cards from Kyle Gray, both of them speaking about the heart. So it's a very much love-based reading. So this one here is your star gathering. So the star gathering is about finding your soul tribe, and it can also be talking about more, oddly enough, the line that's on the bottom that sticks out to me is stars aligned. We are in an alignment right now. We are in a planetary alignment. It actually hits its apex on the 25th of January, where I think at that point 7 planets in total will be in an alignment. Excuse me. This is a time for us to be remembering home. We don't come from the earth. Our third dimensional experience is within the 3D plane, but we are far more than that. So it's remembering your home and connecting with your soul family. And we are seeing a lot of that, where people are now creating their communities or their tribes, and it's not necessarily based through blood relations. It's people sometimes all around the globe, and you're meeting in Zoom meetings and talking about communities that you'll have in person someday, and these communities that you're going to build in the new earth, where it's a much more cohabitive, compassionate, unity-based model, right? So all of that's happening as well. And then we have our Stargate heart, this beautiful Merkaba. This is our light body vehicle, and if you see here, there's just the beautiful it's your inner space. So the heart chakra is being unlocked right now, and a lot of us are experiencing that, where we're experiencing this upgrade, and you need to upgrade the heart to help yourself move into the higher dimensions. As long as your chakra is closed, or your chakra is misaligned, or it's even, still within the frequency of the third dimension, you won't be able to move into the higher dimensions. So we need to be working on our heart chakra, working on moving towards unity, working towards non-duality and compassion and love. So every day ask yourself, what would love do? How would love work in this situation? How would love answer this question? And do those things from that loving way. That's it for your energy for today. We'll do some, oh, I do have a couple other cards. I forgot about this. We got to get some activations happening. I'll put the cards away after. Okay, so these are activation cards. They're the Magdalene manifestation cards. So there are 6 cards that I'm going to show you. You do not have to do anything other than just claim. So claim what you feel is in alignment with you. You don't have to say anything fancy, just I receive, or I claim it, or that's mine, I'll take it, whatever you want. So we've got our star love. So the message about connecting with our soul family and connecting with those, our off planet or our home planet, like that kind of concept, is coming up again within the Magdalene manifestation cards. So your creations require frequencies from your home galaxy. Tap into off-planet gifts and nourishment, which is just connecting to you beyond this physical body, and allowing yourself to harness a lot of knowing that you have from previous lifetimes. You carry a wealth of knowledge within you that you have to go within to access. Everything that you're looking for won't be found outside. It's always within. That's the journey. It's not innocence, it's inner sense, right? We need to regain our inner sense. That's the play on words of the day, from innocence to inner sense, okay? So we've got our star love. Okay, so you're just going to claim that, receive the code. And this is about you being a cosmic being on Earth, right? Feel deeply at home by adding galactic beings to your manifestation team. So calling in your families, calling in your family from beyond, right? Calling in your star family, working with your soul family, right? How much more empowering is it to be with somebody who allows you to speak your entire truth, who accepts you for who you are, who sees you beyond your third dimensional body? How much better is it for you to be doing things collectively with those individuals, rather than going to the table with somebody who doesn't fully understand you and asking them for guidance and how to move forward? Because they're not going to give you guidance from a space of what is actually best for you. They're going to give you guidance from a space of what they would do if they were you, and from their space of this is who I am, right? When you get to soul family acceptance, that's a completely different space, right? So bring in the people who are really aligned with you and fully accept you, and allow them to help you move forward. We have Emerald Love coming out. So Emerald Love, this is a beautiful card because this is about stabilizing our expansion, right? So this is, expansion is a given. We are expanding. There is no way that we can't be expanding with the work that's going on behind the scenes and what everybody is doing to raise their individual vibration, which is collectively raising the vibration. So expansion is a given, and you can feel it. I think everybody feels the wheels picking up, the speed, it's happening faster. We're moving towards something. We can feel it. The energy is there. So quickly stabilize your growth so that it is natural for you to expand again. So we need to be getting better and quicker and more in those expansions, so that we can allow ourselves to open up to receive what's coming for us, because it's getting bigger. We've got our Emerald Love as well. So this is about nourishment, and this is a powerful message, right? So this bespoke nourishment, new paradigm creations require nutrient-rich energies, Receive love from nature, animals, crystals, and guides. So this is accessing other elementals that are around to help you with whatever it is that you're bringing, whether or whatever it is that you're doing, in raising your frequency and bringing out a new creation. So if you're creating a deck of cards, or if you're creating a school, or if you're creating a meditation, or if you're creating a software program, or if you're creating a simplification system, it doesn't matter. Use use those elementals in the manifestation of those particular things. So use pyrite and citrine. Those are both crystals that are used for abundance. So use those types of things as an example. The last ones that we have from the Magdalene manifestation codes is the Magdalene molecule, the Magdalene molecule. And the Magdalene molecule is about being a confident creator. Your creations have a divine design. So hold a line of sight of positive expectations to make them inevitable. So never see anything but success for the things that you're bringing to the world. If you think about your creation as a child that you're birthing, literally a child, birth it, give it a name. I gave mine a name. It was Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Self, Inc. That was what I named my baby. My baby's 3.5 years old. That's actually an entity. At 3.5 years, the company is an entity. So what energy am I feeding the company? Am I feeding the company all the beauty of you're going to grow and you're going to succeed and you're going to reach a lot of people and you are beautiful and I love you and I'm so proud of you? Is that the energy I'm sending? Or am I sitting in the energy of, oh my God, why haven't you got more clients yet? Why haven't you made more money yet? Why haven't you made bigger reach yet? Why are you stuck at 8,000 followers or whatever? Cancel, 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 cancel. None of that applies to me. I was just using examples, right? So what energy are you sitting in? What is your expectations? Do you expect to succeed, or is there an underlying spot in you that expects you to fail or is afraid of success? So you're doing subtle things to stop yourself from actually succeeding. Because if that's the case, then you need to work out what is that and what's it's attached to so you can release it. And then finally, the code for that, the Magdalene molecule. This is about the power of community. Once again, we're brought from the individual to the all, and we're asked to look at what is going on within our communities and how we can get help from our community to move the things that we're working on further. This one here talks about the power of community, and there is a thing in the Bible where it says about when two or more come together, and this is the concept of this card. Only it says when two or more are gathered, magic happens. So co-create with others for rapid materialization. So if every single one of us sits down, and we used to do this on Thursdays, I used to get everybody together and we do this manifestation chain. So what are you working on? And let's say your manifestation is to have a home. And all of us would, in the chat on TikTok, because this was before I was doing it on YouTube as well. But on TikTok, we would sit there and we'd go, oh my God, you got a new house, you got a new house. And we would just amp it up. We would send all this joyful energy into the chat about it having arrived, how she's feeling, what she's doing next, or what he's doing next. But what they're doing next, because of this windfall that they've had, this turn of fortune, their success coming to fruition, right? Oh my God, I met my divine partner, right? And they're like, oh my God, tell us all about him. And then you tell them about them, right? Like those kind of concepts, they're powerful. And we used to talk about having people that you can call up, like friends that you can do this with, where you call them up and you're like, oh my God, wait till I tell you what happened to me. You know, the children's books that I published, every single one of them, all at once, 3 of those books, they all hit bestseller at the same time. I don't even know what to say. So much money is coming my way because these books hit bestseller. And your buddy goes, oh my God, that's amazing. Oh my God. You know, I saw the numbers rising recently. I saw them getting higher and I was like, oh my God. But I didn't realize that you actually got the bestseller. That's so amazing. I can't wait to purchase a book that has the gold seal on it. Right? So they contribute to the story and move it along. And you're like, I know, I've ordered a whole case of books with the stickers on them. I am going to be putting them in libraries and schools as a donation because of this windfall that I'm getting. I am going to be generous and gift these books and get them into the hands of children who desperately need them. And then your friend carries on with that. So find somebody that'll help you do that, that can be your manifestation amping partner. That's just going to amp you up towards or amp up the manifestations that you have to show them, see them ending up in a successful space. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. How's everybody doing now? How you doing now after all those cards? I'm going to sort my cards into their stacks. And let's do our little check-in first before we get going too far with the card, with anything else. Let's do our little check-in, okay? Because remember, today is Transformation Thursday, so it's more about transformation. And although we can transform through the energy that's within the cards, we can also transform through our own selves. Aw, love you guys. Okay, so, hi Carla and Lola. Okay, so our heart space, right? That's where the seat of our soul is. So that's where we're going to go to connect. And it's very easy to drop in. You're just going to close your eyes and you can put your hand here so you have a focal point. I'm just going to drop your awareness down into your chest. And then you can breathe into that space, which this would be heart-focused breathing, by extending that breath to 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out. But beyond doing the heart-focused breathing, right now, it's just about a check-in. So when you drop into your heart, I want you to drop in there to the energy. And just feel that energy. Now, one of the things that you can do when you connect with the energy that is you is you can push that energy out and see if you can kiss your fingers on the outside of your chest with your energy. And if you can kiss your fingers with your energy, then move your hand out of the way and see if you can push your energy out further. See how far you feel like you can push your energy, where you can feel it radiating out from you. Can you push your arms like and bring them in like this and actually feel where you can feel that energy coming to? How far out you can feel your energetic bubble? Push it out even further. Okay, keep pushing it out. And that's the quickest connection. And the more that you connect to this space, you connect to your energy, the more that you become aware of it and the more that you can master it. And then the more that you can connect to other energy, right? When you realize what your energy is, then you can start to determine what isn't your energy. And for many of us, we've run around for so long, not realizing that we're picking up everybody else's energy or energy from other things. If you think about your auric field, which can be anywhere from 6 to 9 feet diameter around you, if you think of that as being basically surrounded in Velcro, and everywhere that you go, there's other people that have Velcro pieces. Everything that is out there has Velcro pieces. So while you're going through, you're bumping into a table, you pick up a little bit of energy from it because somebody bumped into the table earlier, or, you know, the energy that it was made with. You bump into a person or you walk within a person's, 9-foot bubble and you're picking up their energy. Maybe they're in a bad mood. Maybe you walk by somebody and they're struggling with grief. And all of a sudden you get home and you're feeling angry or frustrated or sad or whatever, and you don't understand why. You don't understand why you have all these feelings. And maybe you're thinking that they're yours because you haven't realized how your energy can pick up the energies of other people. So one of the first things to do is just ask yourself, is it mine? Is this feeling that I'm feeling or this energy that I'm experiencing, is it mine? And if it's not mine, well, then I'm just going to let it go. I can let it go with love because energy can be transmuted, but I can let it go. Simultaneously, if you're thinking about that you're Velcro and everything is Velcro and it sticks to you, the same thing happens for you. When you're walking out in the world and you're bumping into things, you're leaving a little bit of your energy behind, as if you dropped a little piece of Velcro off on their stickiness. Some of the energy that we leave behind, we're okay with leaving behind. Maybe we left some compassion with a friend who's struggling. We want them to have that compassion. But there's other energies that we leave behind or that get caught on other people, or that people even are vampires and draw from you on purpose, right? When those energies, we want to make sure that we're drawing them back. So when you call your energy back to you, you can call it back from all times, spaces, dimensions, planes of reality, all people, all entities, all things. You can call it back to you cleansed and purified and whole. And you call it back for what is in the highest good of you and the highest good of the collective. Because if it's in the highest good of your friend to still have that compassion around them, then you're not going to pull that energy back from them. Well, you will pull it back from the person who is tugging on your heartstrings and pulling on your empathy and using it and wielding it as a tool for sympathy and for attention. That energy that you're giving away, which isn't being utilized in a beneficial way, that energy you'll pull back. The energy that you dropped off when you were at the bus station, let's say you're riding on a bus and you're interacting with that energy you're going to pull back. Okay. Oh, I got to do my puzzle. Oopsie. So I call back my energy from all times, spaces, people, dimensions. You say planes of reality. Anywhere that my energy is, where it is not in my highest good or the highest good of the collective. So that's what you can say. I don't know if that translated on there because my puzzle, I had to do my puzzle and I wasn't aware of it. All right. So you can do this for 2 minutes. You can do this for 10 minutes. You could spend a lot of your day just sitting within the space of your energy. You are so much more than your body. So much more than your body. Okay. All right. We've got a half an hour. Who's really in need of clarity? And yes, I do believe that your heart chakra is being upgraded. Absolutely. Absolutely, Lola. Okay. We can look at some cards and some like a little bit of quick cards for people. Give some readings for whoever's really D. Absolutely. All right. Can I get a good message for D? I'm actually going to move these up here because on my luck, I'll throw my cards right in it. Yeah. Finding clarity is most of it. Yes. All right. Can I get a good message for D, Spirit? I want to send lots of love D's way. D, finances are coming in for you. The Queen of Pentacles and healing. So the Queen of Pentacles is the self-made parent. She's you, right? She's you. And, it's beautiful, beautiful, prosperous energy that's coming out. On the bottom of the card, the bottom of the deck is Temperance. Temperance is about moderation and balance. So be careful. Look at where you're putting out your energy, right? We don't want to be all spiritual. We don't want to be all physical. We don't want to be all work. We don't want to be all play. We don't want to be all rest. We have to be balancing between those energies, but honoring yourself along the way. And temperance also in a sense of compassion towards yourself. I get a message for that about compassion towards yourself, because sometimes I think that we become our worst enemies and we're really hard on ourselves, right? Yes, that sweetgrass book is beautiful. Braiding Sweetgrass. Such a lovely book. Did you get is that the one that you're talking about? The Braiding Sweetgrass? Yeah. Did you get it in a paper copy? Because if you get it in the audiobook, she actually reads it. She reads it so beautifully. So, but yeah, I don't know if you're aware, but in the audio version, yeah, okay. She reads it herself in the other version. Okay, Marcella. I think Marcella, were you saying something about, aw, that's just beautiful. All right. Marcella was asking for heart healing. What do you mean you need heart healing? What's going on, Marcella? Hi, Healing Wave. See, Healing Wave came in right when you said that. I had to take my sweater off, guys. I'm getting warm. It happens. My mom's cooking. Oh. My mom's cooking, so the oven's on in here. That's just... Okay. Marcella, I'll send you a heat wave. So one of the things that we have to remember is observe, don't absorb, right? So your partner being angry is something to do with your partner, right? That's their energy, right? All you can do is be responsible for you. And it may be time for you to look inside and determine whether or not this relationship is healthy for you, right? Do you feel safe? Or how can you connect to your partner and create a safe space so that your partner can speak to you, right? What are they upset about? Why are they angry all the time? Are they, are they engaging in like stuff like, if you're watching a lot of news, if you're watching a lot of social media that's really polarizing and dividing, and you're getting yourself worked up with that while having shadow at play, I mean, those individuals right now, they're going to be dealing with a lot of really tough energies, like really, really tough energies at this time, right? So we have to be very compassionate, but don't take it on to yourself. Like the anger is his anger. It's not about you, but we take the things that people say and do very personally, unfortunately. Okay, can I get a message? See what comes up with the cards for Marcella. Spirit, can I get some good cards for Marcella? All right. So we got the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is about, I feel like with this relationship, you put a lot of work into it and you're not seeing the results of that work, right? And, we're like, you're waiting for them to change is kind of the thing that I'm getting. You're waiting, you've been hoping and, like, is this, I should have gave bottom card. I don't know why I kept shuffling, but anyway, we'll get, not all the cards kindly, right? So at some point, and the problem with it is that, and maybe that's it, I don't need to give you another card, I just need to give you more about this card. So one of the things that we end up doing when we do that is, the further along that we go, the more that we've had invested, the more that we feel that we have to stick it out to keep it going because we've invested all this time already, right? It's, like, to give it up. It's like when I stopped my nursing career, right? You have that moment where you're like, oh my God, like I spent so much money in my education, so much time in school, then all that time working in this career to just give it away, right? Like, wow, like that makes it seem like it's such a loss, although it was never a loss. It's really about looking at what did you learn from this experience? Well, you can learn a lot about what you don't want in your life. You can learn a lot about yourself, like how maybe you're treating yourself or how that's coming up as a reflection, right? The Fool came out at the end here, and the Fool's about newness. There's a new beginning coming for you, and allow that to come. Okay. Alrighty, who's next on the list? And did anybody on on YouTube, sorry, want one? Because you guys can get a card as well. It's not just for the people on TikTok, it's for anybody. And yeah, who's next for the card? I know that Carla had to go make a phone call, so Claire? Okay. Knock the snuffing out of it. What does Claire, can I get a good message for Claire's spirit? Huh. Too many cards. Slow down. These are new cards, so because they're new cards, they tend to drop in like big clumps of cards, so I have to slow it down. Definitely Carol. How are your boys, Dee? How's your dad? How's your family? How's everybody doing? Alrighty, Claire. Can I get a good message for Claire, please? Claire. Ooh, the Wheel of Fortune, but this wheel is not in the upright. The wheel is in the shadow. Now, the Wheel of Fortune, whether it's upright or not, it still has a more overall positive message. It's just that when it's in the upright, it's the cycle of completion. It might be more of destiny, whereas the cycle of completion that's in the inverted, it could be some karmic stuff. Right, so there is this, and it could be there's a little bit of a hesitation, we got the Six of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. The Six of Pentacles, this can be that energy of, oh, What's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's not nostalgia. It's not, that's not the word. Give me one second. I'm looking at, sometimes I just need to see a picture. Yes. So sometimes it's just I have to see a picture, and as soon as I see a picture, it cues the rest of the message in the book. It's the two-way abundance, the give and take. So there may be a part of you that has an issue with receiving, or who thinks that in order to receive, you can get there by giving and giving and giving and giving and giving. That if you give enough, eventually you're going to get that in return. But that's not the case here, right? You have to, and clinging on to things, like when we hold on to things, it just shows the universe that we're afraid there won't be more of it, right? So that's that lack space, right? That lack space of what's coming. So this is just about that two-way abundance. So make sure that you're using money as a currency. It's meant to be moving and flowing. So if we hold on to it, we stop the flow, which means we stop the flow to us as well. So just think of it in that state, in that way. Okay. Alrighty, Carla. Is Carla back from her call? Because if not, I'll go to Carol next. And I know Healing Wave had asked for a card as well, so we can put him on the list. Knock, knock, knock. Carla. All right, Carol. What does Carol need to hear today, Spirit? Carol needs to know that she's loved beyond measure. Carol needs to know that she has to believe in the power of people around her to cross the bridge when the time comes. Instead of being in the energy of all hope is lost, because it's not. I have a song in my head, and it's not a song that I know. Carol. Okay, apparently you needed that message, and the cards are saying that's what the message, that was the message. She doesn't need that. She doesn't need any cards. You just gave her the message. But here we are. The Four of Wands, right? The Four of Wands is the 1111 card, Carol. It is about success. So it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Okay? It's going to be fine. You won't leave them behind. Okay? All right, Edie. What does Edie need to hear? Most times I give the cards for you guys anyway, but pretty card. Oh, Edie. Hi, Edie. Love you. Okay, at noon, we have grade 1 today. Today is Thursday, so it's all about grade 1. Look at Edie pulling out that High Priestess. The High Priestess asks you to pay attention to your dreams. It asks you to pay attention to what's going on. Pay attention to your intuition. You know what I did? I totally let this just get cold. Yeah, there's a lot of messages that people, it's called oh my god, I lost what it was called. It's not a kudos. A Cleton? What is it called? Who do you guys remember when you get a message from somebody else? It's for some reason Cleton sounds like it. We know what it is. We've done this. We used to talk about this all the time. Listen to them. They're giving you messages, Edie. They're giving you big messages. And I think it has to do with your career. The Page of Pentacles is coming out, and that means newness. That can be new connections, new relationships that are long-term, because it's Pentacles. So Pentacles has that length to it, that stability or long-term quality to it. But new relationships, new levels of income, new levels of self-worth and self-confidence is what the Page is bringing in. Okay? It's a Cleton. I'm pretty sure it's a Cleton. Is when you receive a message that was intended for somebody else, but it applies to you as well. Yeah. So your dreams are speaking to you. Pay attention to them and listen to your intuition. Okay, listen to your intuition. Okay, so we have healing. Oh, Carla's back. Okay, Carla. I was just about to say Carla too. All right. Can I get a good message for Carla? Ooh, you got the King of Pentacles. What do we got on the bottom of the deck? Justice. So justice in the shadow though. So there could be some karmic stuff that you're dealing with, but at the end of the day, right? The King of Pentacles is the person that is the most stable, the most financially abundant. He's like legacy wealth. He looks over his kingdom. He's very assured, right? So it's at the end of the day, everything is going to work out fine, no matter what this is. There's this imbalance that's there for sure. The Justice card is also Libra energy, so that could be part of it. And when we're looking at the King of Pentacles, Pentacles would represent any of the earth signs. So we could be looking at those type of energies here. But the bottom line is whatever it is that's out of balance right now, or whatever it is that's coming up karmically that you're dealing with or that you've experienced, it is going to at the end be absolutely fine because you have the energy of the King of Pentacles or the Bull. So financially, everything is going to be okay. Okay. All right. Healing wave. What does Healing Wave need to hear today, Spirit? Can I get a good message for Healing Wave? I love it when the cards are picky. Okay, so we got the Seven of Pentacles in the shadow that flew out while all the other ones just dropped in my lap. The Seven of Pentacles is about choices, and it's about having a lot of, it's about work. It's about putting in hard work and not receiving the results of what you're working on. So it's like there's this delay. You're like, I've been putting in all this work. I've been doing all the things, and yet I'm not seeing the money that I should be seeing. I'm not seeing the results of what I should be seeing. And there's like this definite delay energy. Like I split the deck. So one of these was the bottom of the deck because I forgot I was just doing one and one. I was just doing the card that came out in the bottom of the deck. So I keep going to shuffle and give people bigger readings. But I caught myself at this state. So both of these cards were in the Shadow Seer for you Healing Waves. So all three cards are inverted. The Wheel of Fortune can be speaking about karma or cycles of completion, but it's in the shadow. So maybe there's a delay in the cycle completing itself. And it could be because you're spending too much time looking in the rear view as opposed to just like closing the chapter. That's the energy that's coming from that card. The other card is the Star. Now the Star card is about energy manifested, like your wishes coming true. It is the card that represents Aquarius. And we are in Aquarius season. So there's this delay energy that's happening within this reading. And I feel like you're moving through some like karmic energies, or you're processing through that shadow, which is moving you beyond those things, but it's just closing up those chapters. The delay maybe is necessary for right now as you process through this, but it's up to you how fast you process through it. It's like there's a lesson that has to be learned, and once that lesson is learned, then you close the chapter for good and never have to learn that lesson again. But there's something that you're in the process of working through, which is delaying the finances from arriving on your door. It's not that they're not coming, they're just delayed right now until you work through whatever this lesson is. Okay? Alrighty. Riot. All right. Riot. Can I get a good message for Riot, please, Spirit? All right, we've got the Eight of Swords. Swords are the mental suit. They're the ones that are all about your thoughts and thinking, and they tend to be the suit where most of the tough messages are. The Eight of Swords is, I have to see my image. I have to see the image that I'm looking for the words to start. It's interesting that I work at that. If I can pull the image into my mind, it's fine. Yeah. Okay. So the Eight of Swords is the energy of creating your own struggles and participating in our own struggles. It's where, where maybe our thoughts are off in some particular space, and it's making us feel bad in our bodies, right? So we're really torturing ourselves. The other image that I looked at, like, so I spent so much time with the Light Seer Tarot that if I can pull the image of the Light Seer Tarot, I can pull the message from the Light Seer Tarot as well. And sometimes I need that to cue up some of the key words that I have built in with the cards. So when we're looking at the picture that is in the Light Seer Tarot is of a girl sitting in front of a mirror. In the mirror, she is being tortured. She's being tortured by crows. She has her hands bound and she's blindfolded. And in the real world, or in the outside of the mirror, like not within the mirror, she's none of those things. She's not bound. She's not blindfolded. She's not being tortured. And the concept about it is that your mind is creating the frame that you are being stuck in, right? So you're creating your struggles with your mind by keeping it in, going around and around and around the same circle. Okay, and it seems like there's some disharmony here. On the bottom of the deck is the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups speaks of soulmates, relationships, partnerships. Soulmates don't necessarily come to stay for life. They come to, they are change agents. They come to connect you with more of your truth. And they do that in a variety of ways. Some ways are very, very painful. But beyond that, the twos talk about harmony and balance, and when we're at cups, it's emotional. So there's some emotional imbalance that's here as well. Well, if your thoughts are running amok and they're negative or fear-based or lack-based or victim-based, then you're going to be creating emotions and attaching those emotions to those thoughts, and that is going to put you into this emotional imbalance as well. So it's just a time for you to really be paying attention to the thoughts that you're having and moving to a much more positive energy with those thoughts. Okay, and then allowing the feelings to not follow the thoughts down that rabbit hole. Okay, alrighty, Lindsay. Okay, so we've got, I'm going to give you a couple of them. We got the Knight of Wands, or the Knight of Wands, yes, the Knight of Wands in the Shadow Seer position. So wands are about taking inspired action. And the Knight is fast-moving energy. So it could be a time for you to really assess what actions are you taking. If we start with our thoughts, if our thoughts are already poisoned into the negative space of woe is me, or this won't happen for me, or it's always being this way, or it's never going to be that way, and if we're sitting within that energy, then that's the actions that we're going to be taking. The Knight of Wands, he wants to be moving in a very passionate forward motion. He wants to be getting up every morning and following his dreams and chasing them. Look how beautiful this card is. Right? Look how beautiful that card is. You're welcome, Ryette. Right? This is the energy that you're meant to. The other card that's here for us is this industrious beaver, and you being a Canadian, you know the industrious beaver. They're very resourceful. When we're looking at the Ten of Wands, though, the Ten of Wands is asking us to look at what do we feel responsible for? What things or burdens are we carrying that we don't need to? And it even asks us to assess the belongings that we're carrying with us. What are we taking with us into our home? And what are we holding on to in our home that doesn't serve us and energetically is just keeping us in a bad energetic space, right? It's more than just what I'm thinking or what I'm speaking or what I'm feeling or who I'm hanging around with. The energy, there's so much to do with the energy that takes you away from your divinity and disconnects you from that. So looking at your responsibilities, what are you responsible for? Once you release yourself from the burdens that are holding you back and you start to allow yourself to take that inspired action, what lights you up, and just take little steps. It doesn't have to be big steps. It just has to be, I step towards that goal every single day and you will get there, right? And there's a saying in the one book that says, if you take 10 steps towards your, no, the gods will take 10 steps towards you. I know the the book that it's in, but I'm trying to think which card it is that says it. But either way, take one step towards the direction, in the direction of your dreams, and the gods take 10 steps towards you is the underlying message if it's not fully expressed in the correct way. But that's the message here. So take that step, and then the next day take another step, and the next day take another step. So if you're thinking about starting something like an online business of some sort, if you're thinking about doing some healing or helping people or creating something, then every day get up and take at least a little bit of your time and spend it in creation, right? Just creating something, and keep doing that and keep doing that over and over. Okay, and it will all work out for you. The sun is the yes card. It's the giant yes card, that everything, it's abundance. It's, you know, it's a beautiful, one of the best or most benefic most beneficial cards in the astrology or in the tarot deck. Alrighty, that's that. That's that. And just like that, it's time for class. So if you're not a part of the school, you can come and hang out with us. We're a pretty cool crew. You start out in grade 1, which is the journey from shadow to light. And this is where we're working on trauma, and we're working on transmuting our shadows. Then you can move into grade 2, where it is the journey to awareness. And this is where we start to look at churning from me to we. In the grade 1, it's about me. I have to work through my shadows. I have to work through I have to go inside before I can go and spread outward. So in the journey to awareness, that's where we move to understanding that we are me and we is the same thing. And then the journey to illumination is where we start to, you know, really empower ourselves as energy workers and really tap into our ascension. So that's the school. If you're interested in it or you want to find out more information, go to my website. I have a free call. My website is www.mindbodyspiриthealthyself.com. I love you. I'm going to check out now because it's 14.4. So I got my beautiful 144. Bye, guys. I love you.